This is BurntCole. Right now you're joining me from Highway 61 going west out of Charleston, South Carolina. And as I go down the road, I have plenty of different thoughts, things that I try to process and mull over. Some things about just myself, some things about my close family or friends, people that I think about as I try to understand this crazy world. And in this crazy world, it's just there's so much information and misinformation out there that so I want to share one thing that I just learned about this United States. At some point they said these United States, and that was we had to fight a civil war to say, no, man, this is singular. This is a singular country. So the United States, wonderful place. Lived here my whole life. It's great. Served in the Navy. Met a lot of great people, and I totally dig it whenever people come here to get away from something or to find a better life, whatever that is. Totally dig it. Hell, I married a woman. She left me, but she was from another country, and she came to America to live a different life. She was from a very cold country, and we met in Southern California where it was warm, and she, loved the warm. She didn't want to go back to the cold. I digress. Who I want to talk about is a guy named Lee Hongzhi. Lee Hongzhi, his name is, in translated to English, the last name is spelled Hongzhi, but it's pronounced Hongzhi, and his first name, Lee, is Li. Kind of cool. And he's the leader of a religious movement that fled persecution from communist China back in the 90s. He fled from that religious persecution in the 90s, moved to New York. Wonderful. I mean, what a better place. And so his story, he believes that the spirit of all of us, the spirit of all of us is capable of great things whenever we cultivate our own energy through compassion, trustworthiness, love, expressions of community and service, that we could develop the powers to heal ourselves from injury and to communicate telepathically with close people to ward off evil spirits. This comes from a body of knowledge, or at least I guess a part of Chinese culture where, Shaolin monks. I hope you know Shaolin monks, because there's a large cultural representation of Shaolin monks as being these real kick-butt martial arts guys who, they guard their temple and they wear their robes. Well, part of that is they're supposed to know some religious practice or spiritual understanding that grants them some kind of special abilities in this world, and they need to guard that martially with martial arts. So Lee Hongzhi, he came across some knowledge, and he wanted to just share this with everybody. He wanted this to be a free knowledge of how to be a better person and how to be compassionate, trustworthy, serving others, and to not fight, to be very peaceful. That's a key thing, be very peaceful. So take note of that for a second, because it's going to come in. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. So if you've ever seen somebody at the park who's practicing Tai Chi, these very slow movements, there's an internal visualization going on with that. And his practice, you can look this up, is called Falun Gong. Falun-Gong, Falun Gong, or Falun Dafa. And Lee Hongzhi, Falun Gong, Falun Dafa, give that a Google, because it's a prevalent organization in the United States, as they've made this Xinyun dance festival. You may have seen some billboards on the highway for Xinyun. It's got this great ribbity, dancey, flowy, majestic thing going on. I haven't seen one of the shows. I believe that they're a media arm of Falun Gong to entice people into learning about them, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, I would totally see a show. But what I learned it's kind of making me have second thoughts again. It's because Falun Gong made Epoch Times. So the Epoch Times, a media organization, has been around for about a decade, and they are, like, you could just look at them and know what they're about, right? They want to spin up anti-Chinese Communist Party sentiment here in the United States, and they're not afraid of using guys who love the Second Amendment and violence and whatever else that the right wing is totally cool with. And so I'm boggled. I'm totally mind boggled because not only is it Epoch Times, but PragerU, this other and PragerU I think is even more despicable because I get YouTube ads, I get all sorts of advertisements trying to get people, especially young people, to listen to just really hateful crap. And so this Falun Gong, they're using Epoch Times, they're using PragerU to get Americans to get ready to go fight a war against China, to go fight against the Communist Party over there, and accomplish Li Hongzhi's mission. He's been able to peacefully lead his followers of Falun Gong into a way to overthrow the Communist Chinese Party using very violent Americans. So that's unsettling. I know it hasn't happened yet, and I'm not saying it should or would or but I think it could, because the right wing party has shown through their governance right now how they love to how they're really big on violence. Just however you want to spin it, they're very big on aggression to accomplish their means, and it's just apparent now that I know that Epoch Times and Falun Gong are hand in hand, that Falun Gong is using America to do its dirty work, and I'm not cool with it. I hope that you aren't either. So, thanks for watching. I'll share some more of my learning from this year and from my trips on the road with you later. And this has been BurntCole. Have a good night.